Welcome, everyone, to our very first episode of Monday Night KWE Kickstart. Let's go, KWE Kickstart. I always want to be Vince McMahon and say Monday Night Raw. KWE Kickstart episode 1 is coming from you live here in my very own home of Chicago, Illinois. This is a unique brand of wrestling entertainment. I hope everybody's enjoyed the build to it, but let's get into the action. Our opening match tonight, called on the man next to me, Coleman, I am HeelHugz, is Eddie Orton versus Rich Levi. Now, do you want to do ring announcing, or do you want us to bring someone in? Do we have someone that wants to volunteer to be the ring announcer? How would you like to do this?
Ring announcing.
All right, until we get somebody else, let's just have you do ring announcing, and then if someone wants to volunteer, we can have them do it. It's up to you. Do you want to be C1 or 2?
I'll be C1.
All right, go at it.
All right, awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, our opening contest is scheduled for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Introducing first, making his way to the ring from Allentown, Pennsylvania, Prime Time, Eddie Orton! And his opponent, fighting out of Providence, Rhode Island, the B-plus player, Rich Levi. Man, I have been waiting to see these two lock horns for a little while now, HeelHugz.
They certainly will not disappoint.
All right, Eddie goes for a clothesline right out the gate, but Rich is too quick. Eddie reverses with a drop toe hold, spins around on top of Eddie.
Now he's just showing off.
Oh, he is gonna piss Eddie off at this rate.
Eddie's back to his feet, lunges at Rich. Rich sidesteps and gives the crowd a little nod.
Ooh, crowd going crazy. I think they're loving this.
Rich needs to not get too cocky here, though. Eddie isn't one to mess around with. Looks like we got a little back and forth going here. And it looks like Rich is getting the better of it.
Ooh, looks like that back and forth comes to an end as Rich is in the corner. I think we know what he's looking for. It's the flying squirrel time. Eddie dodges the knee, hits Rich with the VKO.
Out of nowhere. 1, 2, 3.
The winner of this match, Eddie Orton. What a match. What a fit. He can hit that VKO just at a moment's notice, and it just seems like anytime he does, that's it.
What an amazing way to start off KWE Kickstart. This was a phenomenal match. It's going to be hard for anybody to beat that. What a crazy quick match.
Here before we move on again is that I heard you refer to me as Coleman. I get that me and him have a little bit of a similar name, but no, the name's Colton Griffin, the master of the cutaway. Coleman is a competitor here in KWE with his own little unique backstory. Just wanted to clarify that for anybody, so there's no confusion going forward.
I don't sign the contracts. I'm just here. You all look alike to me. All Coles look alike to me. Okay. So, as we finish this match, we are going to go ahead and, since you're the master of the cutaway, would you like to cut away to our first sponsor here? Give me 1 second and I can pull it up for you. Because we want to give you the opportunity to really give a shout out to our first sponsor. I'm going to send it to you here. There you go. I figure you'll enjoy that sponsor.
Ladies and gentlemen, this whole event, especially this next match coming up, is brought to you by the G-Spot, the one store you can't find. I can't find it either.
That's a rough one. Well, and speaking of the G-Spot being hard to find, it looks like the next match already occurred during that segment. You can go ahead and check it out on HeelHugz.com. We'll have that one posted for you, but it looks like Dash Mars came in there. It was Dash Mars versus Chris Tyler. Chris Tyler got a little too cocky, and Dash Mars, the veteran, took over from it. But we're back just in time. Just in time for my personal favorite, Punky G versus James McNasty. Now, I feel like Punky G has a huge future here in KWE, but an interesting character. Let's get back to the ring.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from Kenora, Ontario, Canada, weighing in at 251 pounds, the problem child, James McNasty. And his opponent, Punky G says, interrupting the ring announcer, I'm gonna stop you right there, cause y'all know my name. Yeah, they call me PG, and Twitter says I'm lame, but they don't know shit, and I jerk off in all their moms, cause I'm compared to my skills, this man is just bums. McNasty
Wow.
very unamused as Punky G steps inside the ring and, unfortunately, doesn't shut up. I would eat you for breakfast like a plate of blood pudding, 'cause like a newborn horse, you still ain't found your footing. You see, I straight shoot like my fingers on the trigger, and all of you are jealous, 'cause I'm that real. Boom! McNasty hits him with a low blow right before he could finish that line, probably for his own good.
I completely agree, Colton. Someone needs to talk to him backstage after all this is said and done. The ref is now ordering McNasty back up as he checks on Punky G. Against his better judgment, he calls for the bell, and it's on. McNasty, wasting no time, picks him up and delivers a brutal F5. He goes in for that easy cover. 1, 2, 3.
Winner of this match, James McNasty. I'm kind of uncomfortable after hearing that. Not gonna lie.
I'm sure you are, but I bet you're not as uncomfortable as whoever had to give birth to that thing.
Oh!
Well, I've definitely seen better days. We've had better performance in the G Spot store. I've seen Punky G, everybody.
Wouldn't know.
Punky G Spot. He couldn't find the beat, much like couldn't find the G Spot. So moving into our next match. So it looks like we have Riser versus Vinny V. Now, Vinny V has been making waves across the entire promo scene. Every company I've ever seen this man in, he has been absolutely dominating. There's no question to me. He's going to make a huge impact here in KWE. What is your opinion, Colton?
I think Vinny V is pretty cool. I mean, I've seen a little bit of his stuff, not just for here, but for my experience in other places that are not KWE. So if he brings to the table here what he was able to bring to the table there, then I think we got a real star on our hands, Hugz. I really do. But let's kick it down to the ring announcer. This following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, making his way to the ring, standing at 5'7". That's Adam Cole's height. Maybe.
Yeah, and that's not a tall fellow to be trying to be a star here.
Oh, well, weighing in at 197 pounds, 95 pounds rather.
He lost 2 pounds on his way. He lost 2 pounds while he was walking in the ring. It's amazing.
Awesome. Man, I wish I could shed weight like that. From parts unknown, ladies and gentlemen, Riser! Riser is one of the up-and-coming stars here in KWE. He looks ripping and ready to go.
I saw him in the back meditating, and I think he's focused take on Vinny tonight, but I don't know, man. 5'7" and parts unknown, he means business.
And his opponent, making his way to the ring, standing at 6'1". That's better.
Yeah.
Weighing in at 187 pounds, the masterpiece, Vinny V! Coming from the Southeast Territories, this indie add-on to KWE has his eyes set to the top.
They don't call him the masterpiece for nothing. Look at him. He's just reeking of confidence.
That might be something else, too. Riser just pacing in the ring like he's ready to go, but Vinny just standing there doing nothing but just smiling at this guy.
I don't know, but it's pissing Riser off, so it seems to be working.
Well, Riser's taunting him to get into the ring, and Vinny not budging.
Vinny has no interest in Riser. It appears like this doesn't even mean anything to him. Riser's taunts are not getting to him.
Yeah, I'd say so. It looks like Vinny has no interest in Riser's pay taunts here. All right, then. Oh, the disrespect! Riser turned his back on Vinny. Oh, God! Vinny just snatched Riser's ankle, and Riser face plants the man. Oh, my God.
Vinny going in the ring.
Knock the frick out.
Oh, damn. Vinny immediately hits Riser with a drive-by.
I think he's going to finish him right here, right now. He's going to the ropes and slams him with a beautiful vengeance.
Scooped up his leg.
1, 2, 3. The
That's
bell
all she wrote.
rings. The winner of this match, Vinny V.
My God, Vinny V is not playing around, and I can't wait to see what he does in his career here in KWE. We've had so many fast-paced, entertaining, engaging, just intense matches here. Riser, though, I think he let Vinny get in his head. Vinny showed some disrespect. He didn't want to get in the ring, and I think Riser didn't. The meditation didn't help. He should have taken a little bit more time, focus on that match, and not let Vinny get to him, because Vinny took every bit of advantage as soon as he wasn't paying attention. Real quick, before we get into our next match, I want to bring focus back to one of our dark matches of the night that occurred before the show. We saw Animal House, which is Jim Hogman and the American Bulldog, take on our local talents of Eric Steele and Cameron Jones. Animal House, the absolute powerhouse tag team of KWE, coming out of the gate with absolute dominance, showing their tag team prowess, taking out the rookie team of Eric Steele and Cameron Jones in just less than 2 minutes. Hogman coming off the ropes with a massive double clothesline, almost decapitating both of the local men. The Bulldog comes up, finishes them off with a power bomb on a Cameron Jones, and they pick up that dub, showing that the tag team division here in KWE is not to be played with, and the tag team division is spelled Animal House.
If he really is the powerhouse you say he is, could we call him Powerhouse Hogs?
I love that. That's amazing. I see. You know what? You might get another like 20 or 30 pickles in your paycheck from that one. That was worth it. But what is it? All of a sudden there's fog just filling the arena. So the lights here are going out, and the cloud of smoke rising from the top of the smoke. The PA system, there's a man known as, that's Phantasmo. Phantasmo's theme kicking on. Oh, it's almost like the ground is shaking. Oh man, the fog just getting thicker and thicker in the arena here. Half the crowd doesn't know whether to be standing on their feet or scared to death.
Well, here comes the man known as Phantasmo. I think he's going to have his handful with this opponent here tonight.
Are you kidding? Do you know who he's going against? Phantasmo with his face painted in a ghoulish design, clad in black with skulls and bones along his tights. Wow, he's just marching to the ring, just looking from one side of the arena to the other. I think he's happy that they don't know what to do with him. They don't know what to think. He walks around the ring staring into the eyes of the fans as he's passing them, until he finally slides underneath the bottom rope and into the center of the ring.
I think this man needs some professional help, Hugs.
If you think so, then you're going to love his opponent.
Making his way to the ring, this is Kazdian!
Hold on, wait a minute. Phantasmo is standing towards the ring, but out of nowhere, a bright red mist is spewing from inside of the ring. In the mist, all of a sudden, Kazdian emerges from under the ring and goes to attack Phantasmo.
Oh, the masked man's gonna attack Phantasmo!
That's not Kazdian. What the hell is going on here? It's a look-alike. As the look-alike Kazdian gets caught with his feet up over his head, nails his opponent with the double axe handle, only to have Phantasmo grab him by the throat and choke slam right in the center of the ring.
Ooh, that was a devastating looking choke slam on the imposter. I assume to be the imposter.
But now from the front row of the crowd, oh, that looks like that's the real Kazdian. He clips the knee of Phantasmo, sends him crashing to the mat. Oh, he's laughing as he continues to stomp the back of the head of Phantasmo.
This isn't fair. Where the hell did he come from?
He came from the front row, you idiot. Kazdian goes to pick up Phantasmo and whip him into the ropes, but Phantasmo reverses the Irish whip and counters with a backdrop, followed by a stiff senton bomb. That senton bomb could break some ribs. Phantasmo pulls Kazdian up, chokes him with both hands, throwing him across the ring like a rag doll.
What an absolute display of power, more so than my lack of display of eyes in the back of my head that kept me from being able to see him being out on the ringside. So, pardon me. I'm so sorry, Hugs, that I didn't see him.
It looks like Kazian is smart enough to slide out of the ring and regroup, but Phantasmo runs to the opposite side of the ring, into the ropes, and threw himself right over the top rope, down onto Kazian.
Ooh, clean looking suicide dive by Phantasmo. Both men down on the outside. Both men now sweating, using every bit of energy to pull themselves up. I think this is the epitome of big meaty men slapping meat. But Kazian crawls over to the announcer area, snatches up a steel chair just as Phantasmo pulls himself back up to his feet.
Phantasmo's back up and he doesn't look happy. The referee looking as if he's going to let them fight, but he's beginning to count.
Kazian pulled a chair from under one of those idiots sitting ringside. Oh, Phantasmo stares coldly as Kazian daring him to strike him with the steel chair, yelling and screaming at Kazian and mocking him. Phantasmo manages to steal the chair from him and smash his own skull with the chair.
Phantasmo just hit himself with the steel chair. He's busted open, but
he's smiling. He looks satisfied after looking more busted open like a radio. Damn, with blood running down, what's left of the white skull paint on his face, he takes the steel chair and licks his own blood from it, marches towards Kazian, who manages to land a sneak attack, snatching up the ring bell from the announcer and nailing Phantasmo in the middle of the forehead.
He just rocked Phantasmo with that ring bell. God! Kazian looking down at Phantasmo's bleeding and half-painted face, letting out an insane cackle, and the lights go out.
Hey, Doctor, who turned out the lights? Quickly, the lights come back on, and Phantasmo was standing on his feet with a sadistic grin on his face, holding the bell he was assaulted with with Kazian at his feet. Kazian's mask is half ripped off his face with a blackened dye and nose clearly broken.
Phantasmo.
Song with Amy Lee on it.
Oh, that's a good song, though. Good reference. +2. Phantasmo back up, though. Look at that dark smile on his face. He's sticking his tongue out and licking the blood leaking down his face from the open wound the bell made. This has got to be like mature TV MC-17 or whatever. He is laid waste to Kazian.
Yeah, if we could just like get some EMTs out here. I just think we need to get somebody out here, like right here, right now. As Phantasmo plants his foot on Kazian's chest, before kicking his prone, lifeless body out of his path and aggressively marching up the ramp as his theme blasts over the PA system. Still bleeding like a stuffed pig. Once at the top of the ramp, he takes the bell, he slams his head into it 3 more times, seemingly enjoying the thrill and the rush of the pain, as well as the feeling of his blood now trickling to his neck and down to his chest, almost entirely covering the remnants of the white paint on his face.
This was, I don't even, was this a match? This was a, I think there's going to be a New Jack documentary on this one day.
Hey, he may have had a white skull, but I want to call him a white rabbit the way he just left his writing on the wall there.
Are we near some sort of train station? Because that felt like mass transit.
I don't know. I think we need to.
It's like this.
The dark side of the WE.
Oh, and I'd be okay with that. And we go back to earlier in the night when we saw B Smooth take on the Baking Man, Sean Baker. B Smooth made quick work of the Baker. Sean Baker, a big man, a strong man, not a smart man. And B Smooth used some smooth moves to take him out. Methodically goes for the big man's legs, takes him down to the mat, keeps him down on the mat, finishes him off with a simple half crab. Gets the big man to submit, and maybe he'll go back to culinary art school. I don't know. But B Smooth picking up that easy win in the dark match this morning against our local talent. Shout out to the local promotions, though, sending us some of these talents. Some aren't as good as the others, but there are a few out there that are very impressive. Sean Baker, just not one of those, sadly.
course not. Hey, just send him Beef Smooth's way. He'll say, I'm Beef Smooth. Be better or be a bitch, and you'll be on the mat as they count 1, 2, B. Am I right?
Oh, oh. It looks like Bailey has sent us an additional sponsor. Let's go ahead. I'm going to send you these two sponsors that we have because you did so well with the first sponsor read. Why not give it to you? So let's go ahead and do this. The first, I'll give you one of these. You can do this one. I'll do the first one. So there's that. First off, I want to give a special shout out to our sponsor, a single strand of hair from the Peruvian alpaca. It's compelling stuff. Smith?
Very compelling. Probably not as compelling, though, as our next sponsor, Bailey's Tea Bags. I don't know. It was a good tea. I've never had it.
I think it's both kinds. It tastes like both kinds of tea bag. I believe that's supposed to mean that this tastes like balls. Moving on to our moving on to our next match. Bailey's tea bags. That all tastes like balls. Give me one sec. I'm gonna send you our next sponsor, or I'm gonna get ready to send you next sponsor. I'll send it to you in a minute. Let's go ahead back to the ring. There's a guy down there that I believe you'll be a big fan of. The camera pans around to the arena showing we have a jam-packed audience tonight. Oh, what's that song kicking on?
Sounds like the pinwheel theme from the Dark Souls soundtrack, actually. Oh. Ooh, wow. The crowd pops with a very mixed reaction. A lot of people get mixed reactions tonight. Like, people don't quite know who they want to like yet.
It is our first show.
To a dark shade of... It is our first show. This is very true. People do need more time to form their own opinions. But the lights change to a dark shade of red, and smoke appears on the stage. A figure begins to walk through the smoke. The following contest is scheduled for one fall with a 30-minute time limit. Introducing first, from Yarnum, weighing in at 247 pounds, Coleman, the Good Hunter.
Now, I do want to say some people say Yardham, but it is not Yardham. I just want to make that known because, unfortunately, some people make that mistake. I think Bob Johnson. I think Bob Johnson sometimes, he just marks it up there. But, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just tuning in, we've had quite the show so far. I'm alongside Colton Griffin. HeelHugz, if you don't know who I am, you really shouldn't be watching. From the KWE Kickstart show here in Chicago. We're just in time for the man they call Coleman.
Ooh, well, Bob, I have to say, it's been a wild ride.
I'm not Bob.
It just keeps...
FYI.
You're right. You're not Bob. What? Still had Bob on the brain because I knew he was a mastermind behind wanting to see these two men inside that ring. I guess I just had a little bit of a brain fart. I'd rather have a brain fart than a Bailey teabag, but that's just me. I have to say, it has been a wild ride tonight, and it just keeps getting wilder. Coleman, the man hailing from Yarnum, who is hell-bent on proving to everyone, but mostly his ex-bestie, former KWE superstar Smith, the retired hunter, that he is indeed a good hunter. Tonight, he will have the opportunity to show his true colors. He's in the ring, walking around, looking at the crowd, just waiting for his opponent, and Guardians of Asgard by Amarna Marth starts to play. The crowd pops with cheers. I think they know how they feel about this man. Obelisk appears at the curtain onto the stage. His opponent, from also Norway, weighing in tonight at 16.2 stone, he is the Asgardian badass.
Well, I'm going to say this right now, Colt. This is a match of many realms.
I mean, all facts, no printer. Neither of these men are even from this realm, which should make this shape up be one for the ages here, HeelHugz.
Obelisk enters the ring, starts pumping up the crowd. I think, do they cheer the man or they cheer in the song? You know, sometimes does the theme music make the audience feel a way about an opponent or about a competitor? I think so. Ladies and gentlemen, we do have to remind you that this was brought to us by the G Spot, the one store you can't find, and by Redacted. Got consent? Probably not. Oh, and here we go. We're underway. Both men circle the ring, sizing each other up. They tie up after a few seconds.
Yep, there's a collar and elbow tie-up underway. These two men are fairly matched, but Coleman has a slight size advantage, and now displaying that fact here with a headlock takedown out of the tie-up. Oh, Coleman hits a headlock takedown. Obelisk struggles. He begins reaching and inching towards the rope.
Oh, nice headlock takedown by Coleman, immediately transitioning into his finisher, the Nightmare of Menzies. Oh, he's got him in a submission. Looks like he's bending that arm back, trying to lock in the Nightmare of Menzies right away. Can he get it? He's got it. He's got it locked in. This could spell a quick end for the Asgardian. It might be over right here.
It might be locked in too tight for him to break it at this point. But like for them, he's not too far from the ropes. He's almost there. Can he do it? Oh, Obelisk struggles. He finally reaches the ropes. The referee calls for the break. But Coleman does not release that Nightmare of Mensis hold until after the count of 3.
He got it. Obelisk just saved himself from losing his first ever match here in KWE, but judging by how Coleman didn't want to break the hold, it shows he isn't coming to play Mr. Nice Guy tonight, Colt. Coleman gets to his feet. After releasing the hold, pulling Obelisk up by his head, hits a very heavy chop, sending Obelisk bouncing against the ropes. Lordy Jordy, they just heard that chop in the parking lot, Colt. That one lit him up. He's stumbling. Obelisk rebounds off the ropes, and strong chop gets hit with a clothesline, flipping him outside.
Oh, man, hey, if that Nightmare of Mensis didn't take him out, I'm surprised this wouldn't either. That clothesline damn near took his head off, Bob. Or, Hugs! I keep saying Bob because I got Bob on the brain because I know he was the one behind putting this match together. But enough of my stupidity. Obelisk is going to have to try and mount some sort of offense if he is going to have any type of chance to come out on top here.
I kind of look like Bob in your defense. I look just like Bob.
I guess you do. Coleman gestures to the crowd, screaming in dominance. The reaction's still mixed, but the boos, the boos are becoming heavier. I think they know how they feel about him now. While Obelisk begins to struggle to his feet, Coleman, mockingly and disrespectfully, slaps at his head, laughing and hurling insults at him, calling him a plague-ridden rat and other Yarnum-isms that he learned from his time living in Yarnum, then stomps him in the back so that he falls back to the ground before being able to get to his feet. The crowd begins to loudly boo at him, and he looks around just glaring at them. You don't want to boo me? I'm the good hunter. You don't boo me. What's wrong? What? Oh, you don't like when I hurt him? Oh, it's your little sorry excuse for a warrior? Huh? Well, watch this.
Coleman is definitely not making any friends here. This crowd is clearly growing more and more angry at him.
Yeah, and it seems to be really getting to him. It looks like he's looking to take it all out on Obelisk here.
Coleman aggressively grabs. Yeah.
Wow, I think you and I both wanted to call that one. How excited we were to see that, man. Didn't mean to do a Seth Rollins laugh there, but Obelisk grabs him by the hair, pulls him to his feet. He looks at Obelisk with an aggressive rage-filled look at him. He starts talking trash to his face and slapping him periodically. If that's a bitch move if there ever was one. He says, "You're trash! Your people are trash! Your family is trash! Do you hear me? I'm gonna end you!" Coleman hits a thunderous European uppercut, causing Obelisk to once again stumble back against the ropes, but this time Obelisk with a John Moxley-style rebound and quickly hits his signature. Oh, the Gungar out of nowhere!
Oh. Oh my God, Gungnir, that spear from Obelisk nearly cut Coleman in half. This is Obelisk's chance. Can he capitalize? Obelisk kips up, crowd rallying behind him. Coleman lies on the ground, clutching his abdomen in pain. His breath is clearly knocked out of him. Obelisk is getting pumped up, playing to the crowd.
Ooh, yeah, this crowd tonight is firmly behind Obelisk. They're chanting,
Obelisk, Obelisk, Obelisk. Oh.
Coleman begins to make his way to his feet. Obelisk is gesturing him to get up. As soon as Coleman makes it to his feet, he runs at Obelisk.
Coleman to his feet. Here comes Coleman running at Obelisk. Leapfrog by Obelisk. Obelisk does quick leapfrog, causing Coleman to run through his legs and bounce off the rope. Obelisk hits a quick but emphatic Mjolnir. Oh, that pop-up power slam off the rebound, driving Coleman to the mat. Mjolnir. Mjolnir. Lordy Jordy, this one's starting to look bleak for Coleman. Quickly, Obelisk transitions from Mjolnir into a submission finish here, the Gleipnir, which is a cross-face maneuver, and oh my god, it is locked in. God almighty, he's got the Gleipnir locked in.
This might mark the end here for the Good Hunter. This crowd is going crazy. Coleman struggling to get to the ropes. Can he get there? Can he get there? Is he going to struggle harder than Shawn Michaels against Kurt Angle from Mania 21? Coleman trying his best to get to the ropes and is nearly there, but Obelisk rolls over to the hold, causing them to move to the middle of the ring and away from the ropes, and Coleman tapped!
That's it! Coleman tapped! Coleman tapped! Obelisk wins!
Here is your winner, the Asgardian.
Wow.
Obelisk.
Oh my god, Colton, that was a phenomenal match. What an amazing match here by both men. Now, I do know the audience at hand here. Definitely not going to be a huge fan of what Coleman had to say. A lot of those insults he was hurling out, I do have to say, Coleman's opinions are not those of KWE or its affiliates. Just letting you know, legal team, I did say that. But Colton, what an amazing showing from both men here.
Absolutely, man. I mean, I don't know how far Coleman's going to be able to go to prove that he really is a good hunter, quote unquote, but as far as being like a remarkable KWE talent, him and Obelisk both, they have the makings for it.
Both of them were doing a phenomenal showing. And speaking of a phenomenal showing, I want to go back earlier in the night to one of our dark matches, and we saw the Ledger representing Acquisition, Paul Atlas and Reed S. Books. Which, did you hear about Reed's book of the day today?
No, I did not.
Reed S.'s book of the day is War and Peeps. It is the story of Easter candy and how the chocolate industry has tried to take over the world. It's an amazing read. But the Ledger's Paul Atlas and Reed S. Books take on Mighty Man and Mr. Electricity. And the thing about Mighty Man is, you would think with a man with such a name who thinks he's as strong as he is, would probably be able to do something with that strength, but he could barely pull himself in the ring. And he attempted a power slam on the 6'5", nearly 500 pounds Reed S. Books, and threw out his own back, being allowed to easily be pinned by Reed S. Books of the Ledger picking up that win. But something that was very interesting, right after that match, when the cameras followed the Ledger to the back, we saw Vinny V leaving the locker room of one tag team, Dre Quan and Corey Monroe. More on that soon. As we get back to the ring, let's talk about our newest sponsor, Smith, while we get back to the ring here.
Ooh, alrighty then. We got a spicy one here, and I'm not talking about the drink. I'm talking about the context, because our next sponsor is OJ's OJ. 100% juice, 100% not guilty.
Oh, I love that one. And I do love orange juice. Here, we have one more sponsor for you really quick.
Oh, what's that? Do I hear a knock knock? Who's there? Lettuce. Lettuce who? Let us pause this joke for a word from our sponsor,
Raid Shadow Legends.
Of course, the sponsor is Raid Shadow Legends. Every fucking time there's a show with a sponsor with Raid Shadow Legends, I'm never gonna escape that, am I?
I'm contractually obligated to smile for at least 13 seconds after saying Raid Shadow Legends.
That makes one of us.
Okay, I'm never going to say it again because I don't want to have to stop for 13 seconds after saying that thing. So as during the time that it took me to smile for my contractually obligated 13 seconds, we missed the next match, which was James Thomas Smize versus DT, because it happened so quickly. DT absolutely dominating this man, and the audience really seemed to be feeling for James Thomas Smize, but DT put the man out of his misery, made absolutely quick work, and from the back, I'm hearing that during that conversation, Craven Bendercraft just defeated Johnny Banks. That match happened that quickly. Now remember, you will be able to read these matches and their full synopsis on HeelHugz.com. I will put the link available to all of you KWE fiends in the Discord, but it will be on the webpage. And we're not going to go through all the matches on here because sometimes people quit and whatever. Or like have problems with their wives. We're going to jump in to the next match, which is Patty O'Shea versus Bailey McLean. Smith, are you excited for this one? I'm very excited. I've heard huge things about Bailey McLean coming in here. He was one of the largest acquisitions of KWE coming out of his contract signing. A lot of people see huge potential in this man facing off against Patty O'Shea, who, let's be honest, has a lot to prove. Do you have any opinions going into this match?
I think Patty O'Shea is better, but my opinion doesn't matter. It's how they can back it up inside that ring. Titantron lights up with the name Patty O'Shea as the Irishman walks his way down to the ring holding a 6-pack of bottles containing Guinness. The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, hailing from Donegal, Ireland, weighing in at 238 pounds, a European that doesn't feel like a pretentious prick and use stone. He is the Fighting Irishman, Patty O'Shea. The announcer yells into the mic as Patty steps through the ropes and holds his 6-pack up high before carefully placing the beer into the corner. Then out through the smoke that has built up on the stage walks Bailey McLean, who throws his flat cap into the crowd as he's walking, and his opponent, hailing from Yorkshire, England, weighing in at 250 pounds, the Governor, Bailey McLean. The announcer says as Bailey walks up to the ring steps and through the ropes before jumping onto the top rope, pulling out a spare flat cap from his trunks, and he puts it on. He tips his cap to the crowd, then throws that hat into the crowd too. And then he gets off the ropes and stares at Patty. What do you?
So this man just keeps extra flat caps tucked away in his Johnson region? I'm very confused by this. This is we're not paying for that. Somebody in the back. We don't pay for those, right? Just make sure to charge him no pickles out of my pocket for those Johnson caps. Let's see. Both opponents start circling the ring as the bell is rung, locking eyes with each other as they walk in unison opposite of each other, almost daring each other to make the first move until they both look up like wild bulls. They push each other back and forth, trying to outstrength each other until Bailey manages to shove Patty to the floor and catches Patty with a headlock. Patty trying to fight out of it and manages to pull Bailey's arm away before rolling into the corner. Oh, stopping to think about what he needs to do as Bailey watches him like a hunter. A good hunter? Watches its prey. Patty stands up, pulls his fist up, and moves in right before lighting up Bailey's midsection with a blow after blow, which seemed to hurt him, but Bailey catches an arm, pulls him into the corner with a hook to the jaw, which makes the Irishman yelp in pain and staggers back. Bailey backs into the corner.
If he's yelping like a dog, does that mean he's making him his bitch?
Those are better bars than Punky G.
I just think those are important questions to be asking, Hugs, as Bailey charges forward for a shoulder tackle, but Patty manages to sidestep, immediately tries to and successfully hoists his opponent into a firearms carry, but Bailey manages to counter by driving a hard elbow shots into the side of Patty's face, causing Patty to fall to one knee. Bailey slips off his back and immediately locks in a sleeper hold for 10 seconds before Patty manages to brute force his way out of the choke. Holding his neck, he looks frustrated. However, he isn't given long to relax as Bailey grabs his waist from behind and takes him to the mat with an amateur takedown and tries to go for Patty's arm.
Patty once again managing to slip away. But his frustration grows more and more in his eyes. He rushes Bailey and tackles him to the floor with a thud before mounting the governor and raining down lefts and rights into the face of Bailey, with most of the shots landing. Patty then quickly gets and yells to the heavens before going to his corner, pulling out a bottle of Guinness and downing for courage. I'm pretty sure KWE legal. Is that? Can we do that? I don't think we can do that.
I don't know. I'm not a lawyer and I don't even play one on television. But Bailey gets up from the beating only to be met with the boot of Patty striking his nose, causing some blood to start flowing from it. Jesus Christ, didn't Phantasmo give us enough of that? Patty then quickly lifts him up, lifts up Bailey into the firearms carry, drops him with an attitude adjustment, which causes the governor to cry out in pain.
Patty's frustration disappears as his momentum starts returning to him, and he hoists Bailey into the air by one arm and slams him back down onto his knee for the Irish curse backbreaker. But Bailey counters it by shifting his body, wrapping his legs around Patty's waist, and locks in a guillotine onto the Irishman, causing Patty to fall forward.
Ooh, Bailey lets go with a hold once he believes that Patty has been choked out. He stands up and grabs Patty's waist for the gut-wrench powerbomb, but Patty, being mixed with heavy frustration and desperation, having nearly every bit of offense he's given cut off, drops to his knees and delivers a ball-busting, almighty punch straight to the nether regions of the governor, causing Bailey to immediately keel over as the ref calls for the DQ ending to the match. Are you fucking kidding?
He hit him right in the Netherlands.
I'm trying to be entertained by my big meaty men slapping meat, and you're going to throw that at me?
I mean, what's meatier than punching him right in the haggis?
Ladies and gentlemen, due to the illegal low blow from Patty O'Shea, the winner of this match as a result of a disqualification, Bailey McLean. The announcer says into the mic as the fans into the arena boo the Irishman. Patty doesn't care, however, as he picks up Bailey, holds him above his head while grabbing the back of his arms, and plants him down with a Celtic cross with a thunderous slam and a cry of hurt from Bailey, who lays there holding his balls as Patty angrily walks to the back.
What an disappointing ending to a strong match. I definitely want to see a fair and balanced victory from one of these men. For it to get that close, for both of these dudes to leave it out there just to end it with a ball buster.
I mean, you already know I'm disappointed.
Life is disappointing, but not as disappointing as our next sponsor. Yes, our sponsors are disappointing, I'm just saying. Yeah. And I'll send that over to you right now because I feel like this is something you might need.
Ooh, all right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the remainder of the show will be brought to you by Microsoft, the pill that kills even the tiniest of erections to hide your boners at the most awkward of times. Are you being the Michael Che to my Colin Jost right now, just making me say shit that's gonna make me sound like an absolute cornball or a terrible person?
Hey man, I'm just purely naming sponsors, okay? We need money. KWE, we need money. That's our whole thing here. And then I'll give you
brands that are worth their salt are gonna have these just willingly be their taglines.
Hey, I don't work for marketing. I'm just a lowly professional wrestling promoter. Here's our last sponsor before we get into the next match.
All right. Well, this next sponsor is NGT because you have to sponsor your replacement.
Oh no! Whoever sent that's a real asshole. Dior. Okay, so as we cut back to the ring, we had a non-title match with our KWE Explosive champion, Dr. Carmichael Pierce, facing off against Avery Raymond and his partner accompanying him, Cross. And it looks as if that match is already complete. Man, we really need to get on these sponsors. These sponsor ads take up way too much time because they're just defeating all these matches. We don't even get to get back to these.
The sponsorships taking too much time, or are people so hungry to prove themselves that they're beating people in quick fashion to show their dominance?
I mean, I'm hungry and I'm dominant, but what else was dominant was the victory that Dr. Carmichael Pierce pulled off against Avery Raymond.
Is he an actual doctor?
I believe his doctorate is in thugonomics.
Oh, so he's a wannabe Punky G, and Punky G is already a wannabe John Cena. So it's
Which
a
is
wannabe of a
just,
wannabe.
well, and John Cena was just a wannabe Sandy Ravage.
Touche, my friend.
There you go. All right. Speaking of touche, I do love touches, and shout out to my woman Kate. It's got a nice touche. Going back to what has happened previously in the night, we had Draquan and Corey Monroe, the high-flying, entertaining, electrifying tag team, going up against The Confessional, former adult film entertainment star Harry Cox, and the questionable legality of how he has his congregation, Pastor Paid, their tag team, The Confessional. Something happens during this match. And it's something that needs to be addressed by KWE staff because we put together Draquan and Corey Monroe. They asked for this. And they had a phenomenal showing for the first half of this match with high-flying maneuvers that defied gravity. It was like I was watching Wicked, okay? Draquan, out of nowhere, with the super kick, takes out his own tag partner, Corey Monroe. Draquan turning on Corey Monroe, leaving him to be dealt with Harry Cox, getting smothered all up in and pinned, just pushed down into the mat. Hard Harry Cox into Corey Monroe. The Confessional wins. Draquan, though, however, turning his back on his tag partner after talking to Vinny V. What is that all about? We're going to have a conversation with Draquan.
I don't think that was the very sentimental moment that he was looking for.
I don't know. And I'm pretty sure that wasn't holy water that was on Corey after the match.
I don't think so either. I don't even want to entertain that idea. I don't even want to sports entertain the idea of what that was.
Okay. We have back in the ring. It looks like Ryan Marks versus Kellen is the next match on. Oh, is that the ring announcer?
All right. The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from Los Angeles, California, weighing in at 274 pounds, the show, Kellen Wade Emerson.
Oh, I'm very excited for Kellen Emerson. This man looks like he is going to be a huge star here.
And his opponent, already in the ring, from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, weighing in at 256 pounds, he calls himself the Pittsburgh Kid, Ryan Marks. Referee making sure both men are standing on opposite sides of the ring, and he calls for the bell. Ding, ding, ding. Both men start with a collar and elbow tie-up. Specialty here at, most wrestling matches. KWE gets the upper hand and puts a headlock on Marks, who is very clearly struggling and flailing about. Wow, I guess you could say he's looking kind of weak here, wouldn't you say?
Well, typically people I know named Ryan are Marks, and it just happens to be that way sometimes. But it looks like KWE is noticing how much it's getting to him, so he lets go. Weird choice for KWE here. Ryan Marks sees the opportunity, bounces off the rope, landing a lariat on KWE where he staggers a bit. KWE looks like he's almost allowed it to happen as Ryan Marks bounces off the rope again and lands another lariat, just barely staggering KWE slightly more than the first one. I gotta ask you, Colton, is he actually landing any of these of his own accord?
I mean, it could be a possibility, or maybe he just feels so bad for the guy that he wants to make him look more powerful than he really is. Now, I can't tell if that's out of kindness or pity or him just wanting to, like, be an asshole, but I guess I can't read minds, can I? Ryan Marks runs the ropes behind KWE and attempts a running bulldog, vintage John Cena, but Ryan Marks' hand was barely on KWE's head as he falls on his ass with his hand still in the air. KWE still standing and looking quite confused. I know I already said fuck, but I don't know how much more we're allowed to swear on a program like this, so instead I'll just say, son of a botch.
Well, I mean, realistically, we did have a grown man punch another man in his billy bongs after drinking Guinness. So I'm not entirely sure we're even going to be on air next week. KW is having none of this right now as he grabs Mark by the back of the head and shoves him head first into the top turnbuckle. Not once, not twice, but 3 times a lady. He turns him around and delivers a vicious chop, causing the crowd to go, oh, there we go. On principle, he grabs Marks by the arm and Irish whips him into the opposite turnbuckle. And as soon as he connects with it, right behind him is KWE with a vicious clothesline. Marks stumbles into his ass, KWE delivering endless kicks to his chest and face before being forced out of the corner by the ref. Man, these refs, they gotta get on this sooner. KWE now arguing with the ref, clearly not happy with what he has to do here.
And to be honest, I don't blame him, but that time spent arguing showing to be unwise as Ryan Marks attempts a roll-up pin that looks like he didn't quite know how to roll him over. What is this, his first day in wrestling school? Marks now trying to trip him and corkscrew the leg, causing it to bend in not the most natural of ways. KWE stumbles down and is very visibly frustrated. Marks attempts a pin, but KWE immediately kicks out before the ref can even count 1. By sitting up, and he locks the padlock onto Marks, who immediately taps out. The winner of this match as a result of a submission, Kellen Wade Emerson.
Wow, KWE just does not look happy about that at all.
The corporation or the person?
I mean, I can't speak on behalf of the corporation legally.
I mean, I can't either, but regardless, I wouldn't. I mean, hey, I'd be pissed if I had to share the squared circle with someone who looks like they just learned how to lace their boots 30 seconds before coming out of the curtain. But nonetheless, a decisive victory for the show, and for the show at large, too. Wink, wink.
It was absolutely a phenomenal match between these two men if you only watched Kellen's side of it. Ryan Marks definitely looks like he needs some development. Unfortunately, we don't have it in the budget for a developmental league to our brand new company. So it looks like we'll just have to pay more in insurance. I don't know. But speaking about insurance, as we go back to previous in the night, we saw Adam Gray and Brostein coming to the ring, the bros of the decade. Brostein there to support his brother Adam Gray in his match against the masked luchador Tolos, as Adam Gray and Brostein basically took this chance to drink in public. I'm pretty sure that's against the law, but it seems like it did something for him. Adam Gray absolutely working the audience into a madness, taking on the masked luchador over time, trying to take off his mask numerous times during the match just to draw the ire of the fans, pouring alcohol in his mask, doing everything they could to just ruin this man's reputation in the local talent scene before finishing him off. Adam Gray picking up the victory. Definitely not making any new fans here was the Boston boy with the Chicago audience, but it was entertaining nonetheless. Cutting back to the ring now, it looks like we have Jocelyn versus Los Angeles.
Well, Spotlights atop the ramp, and it begins to dart around the arena, highlighting a sold-out house as the sound of Angelus's theme music explodes over the PA system. Angelus confidently steps through the curtain and takes a moment to behold the sight of all the fans packed into the building. Just as Angelus begins to take a step forward, an attack from Jocelyn takes place with a vicious clothesline to the back of the neck. Jocelyn sends Angelus up to the top of the steel ramp. A sneak attack by Jocelyn. Angelus has gone down hard. Where the hell did she come from?
Smart idea by Jocelyn. Get them before they can get to you. Now with the advantage, Jocelyn pulls Angelus up by the hair, puts him up for a vertical suplex, but is blocked by Angelus.
Ooh, blocked by Angelus. Angelus tries again.
Blocked again. Angelus is just too strong.
You're telling me as he counters with a vertical suplex of his own. The sound of flesh meeting steel echoes throughout the arena. It sounds like a car crash. Ooh. After getting the advantage with this move, Angelus is the first to put himself to his feet, then pulls up a groggy Jocelyn, pulling her by the hair down the ring and roughly tossing her underneath the bottom rope. I'm not even sure if she's seeing straight. Is she seeing PA? Is she seeing Pam? Is she seeing Ace?
LGBT wrestling. We support them all. She's about to be seeing stars again if she doesn't shake off the effects of that vertical suplex as Angelus climbs to the top turnbuckle on the opposite side of Jocelyn. It gives her time to find her bearings and stumble into the ropes near Angelus, sending him crashing down crotch first onto the top turnbuckle. That's a rough landing.
Ooh, you got that right. With a vicious headbutt, Jocelyn climbs up the turnbuckles quickly like a possessed spider, landing a forearm to the bridge of the nose for every turnbuckle climb, then snakes her way behind Angelus and seats herself atop his shoulders to execute a reverse Hurricane Rana.
She just spiked his head into the mat with that maneuver. Angelus crashed down on the top of his head from atop that top turnbuckle, holding the top of his head. He cringes in pain. Seeing the opportunity, Jocelyn, still favoring her back, drags her own body over Angelus.
Angelus is down and hurt.
Who cares? Jocelyn is smart enough to pin him. The crowd groans, seeing how Angelus landed to the mat in the Hurricane Rana from hell. But all Jocelyn sees is opportunity for victory. She's covering him and hooking both legs. The ref's running over. 1, 2, 3.
Ooh. Angelus tries to fight to get a shoulder up after the 3 count, but nope.
Too late. Big win for Jocelyn. Some people call her Rosalind, but it is not Rosalind. It is Jocelyn.
The winner of this match, Jocelyn Havoc.
Oh my God, what a phenomenal showing here from Jocelyn. Not a very well-known commodity here in KWE, a more recent pickup, but her name has been creating a lot of noise here in the KWE locker room. And it looks like we're already ready for our next matchup here. Now, this has a little bit of background. Some of the very first people to jump into the KWE Performance Center and demand a spot in the main event, and they didn't make it quite to the main event of the show, but they did make it towards the end, and that is Smoke and Raiden Crow.
All right, well, Rebirth by Hobson begins to play, and the light gives a strobe effect. Raiden and Renee Crow appear on the stage. The following contest is scheduled for one fall. With a 30-minute time limit. On the way to the ring, accompanied by Renee Crow, now residing in Bronson, Texas, Raiden Crow.
We're about to get ready for the next matchup. Here comes Raiden Crow, accompanied by his sister Renee. Now listen to this, Colt. Apparently after suffering a concussion in the company that should not be named, the man known as Loke was thrusted into a coma, and when he awoke, he had no clue what happened to him or who he was. Renee was there at the hospital when he woke up and claimed it to be his sister, telling him that the doctors, that was his actual name, was Raiden Crow, and he left home to be a wrestler years ago. When Raiden was cleared from the hospital, he was released into Renee's care. Now he's back in the squared circle for competition, but my question is, do you think Renee is out here to support him or keep an eye on him, Colt?
¿Por qué no los dos? I'm not sure, but I can say this. I was able to catch up with Renee before the show, and she seems to be very concerned with her brother returning to the ring so soon.
Yeah, the look on her face is a dead giveaway, Colt. It's a dead giveaway. She doesn't look too thrilled about this.
Whew, alright. Well, Call 911 by West Side Connection starts to play. A heavy fog fills the stage while black and red lights flicker. Smoke walks through the curtain and through the fog with his hoodie up, puts his hood down, and pyro explodes behind him. And his opponent from Wolverhampton, England, with that special Wash Your Sister sauce, weighing in at 242 pounds, this is
Smoke!
Heavy boos come from the crowd. Smoke just drinks it in, smirking at the crowd, walking with a cocky swagger to the ring. Oh God, I've seen this guy. These people must know who he is as well by judging by his reaction. This guy is an absolute jackass. I guess
Yeah,
walking with a jack swagger.
I need a soundboard for. Yeah, I would definitely agree with that here, but you can't deny the guy's talent. He's a vet in this game and knows his way around the ring. He won't let you forget it either.
Whew, well, let's see how he works it tonight against Raiden Crow. The bell rings. Smoke stands in the corner, stretching obnoxiously and obviously stalling. Raiden looks at him, shaking his head. Smoke begins to taunt the crowd, showing off his muscles and exuding bravado. The crowd boos heavily. Well, Helen Keller could have seen this one coming. Smoke spending more time antagonizing the crowd than wrestling the damn match. He flips him off and laughs. He finally moves in to tie up with Raiden. They tie up and Raiden gets the best of him, pushing him to the ground. Smoke looks at Raiden from the ground in shock.
I don't think Smoke was expecting that one. I don't think it's a good idea from him to underestimate Raiden so easily. And his shock slowly turns into a smirk while he dusts off his body and gets back on his feet. They circle each other and tie up again. Raiden spins behind him, transitioning into a waistlock. He hits a German suplex, causing Smoke to land on his neck and back.
I guess you could say he introduced Smoke to his two best friends. Fuck around and find out, because what a German suplex by Crow. I don't think he's here to play with this guy. I think he really does want the smoke.
I wonder if after this one he's going to go from the smoke to the vape, because with a blank face. Oh, I see it's difficult. Very clever. Renee watching her brother concerned, but clapping from ringside.
I'm glad you liked that. But in any event, this crowd seems to be getting into this match after that maneuver as they start to cheer. Smoke pops up, holding his neck after that devastating German suplex. An embarrassed grimace forms on his face as he looks to the crowd. He's becoming very visibly frustrated.
You can see that he's truly frustrated here. Smoke came into this match feeling that he was going to dominate, but it's been all Raiden so far. I've always said Smoke was probably more of a sub.
I mean, it's possible, depending on how much he wants to dom this match. But yeah, this doesn't seem to be going Smoke's way at all. At some point, he's going to have to center himself, because Raiden's getting in his head, for sure, as he grunts in frustration or runs at Raiden, going for a clothesline.
Here comes Smoke, going for that clothesline, but Raiden ducks it, runs towards the ropes. He bounces off and hits a running forearm, kipping up to his feet immediately after. It's reminiscent of a young HBK. Running forearm, both men are dead. No, wait, Crow kips up. Shades of Shawn Michaels HBK himself. The crowd is absolutely into this one. I think everyone thought Smoke would come in here and embarrass Crow, but it's looking to be quite the contrary. Can Crow put it away early? Raiden begins hyping up the crowd. Meanwhile, Smoke rolls out of the ring right next to Renee without him noticing. Smoke rolls. Smart strategy by this veteran, but wait, what's he doing? Renee does not seem to be enjoying this. Smoke yelling at Renee, "Why don't you and your brother go shag in the dumpster in the back of the arena?" Wow. Smoke calling her out. "What are you doing here anyway? That NASCAR track is down the street. Here's a few bucks for a cap." He just threw $20 in her face. Where did he get that exchange rate?
I don't fucking know, man. But what an absolutely classless display by Smoke. Just disgusting. Look, just because Renee wants to look at Raiden the way that Mikasa looks at Eren doesn't mean you have to mock him for it. Just leave her alone, you damn bully. You make me sick.
Oh, I think Smoke is about to realize the error of his ways. Here comes Big Brother like the colossal titan. He goes to hit a clothesline from behind, but but at the last second, Smoke hears the footsteps and ducks, causing Raiden to clothesline Renee. Oh no, he hit his sister by accident.
God damn it! Smoke slithers in the ring while Raiden checks on his sister. The ref gets out of the ring and checks on her as well. Overcome with anger, Raiden slides back into the ring after Smoke while the ref is still helping Renee to her feet.
Raiden does not look happy at all. He's chasing Smoke into the ring. Smoke meets Raiden with a swift, low blow, causing Raiden to clutch his pearls and fall to his knees, writhing in pain.
You know, I would like to say no dick kicks, but hey, if you're gonna do it, at least do it when the ref's not looking. You know, unlike that fucking Patty O'Shea guy. But he hit him with a goddamn dick kick, and the ref didn't see it. He was too busy helping Renee. This is bullshit. That goes for the cover on a defenseless Raiden Crow.
Not this way, man. Not this way. 1, 2, 3. And that'll do it whether we like it or not. Smoke picks up the win here tonight.
Dude, this was such a travesty. If I was even capable of getting sick, this would probably be making me sick right now. We go to the announcer. The winner of this match, Smoke!
Smoke raises his hand. Wow.
Fashion, as if he just had the performance of his life. Renee looks visibly upset as she holds her neck and climbs into the ring to check on her brother. Smoke blows her a kiss and rolls out of the ring. She scowls at him and continues tending to her brother.
Absolutely classless and trash activity by Smoke. This is disappointing to say the least. But what are you gonna do?
You're disappointed? I am fucking disappointed, bro.
It seems like the biggest loser tonight has been the downstairs mix-up, as more balls have been hit there than at someone playing MLB The Show.
Well, you know what? I'd rather have kicked balls than have it to have tasted balls. You know, no disrespect to Bailey's teabags, except all the disrespect, actually.
Well, speaking of teabags and tasting balls, earlier tonight, Retro faced off against Drew Sullivan. And I don't know what that had to do with balls, but Retro getting the victory in ballsy fashion using the finisher of Balls Mahoney, ECW former legend, to take on that victory. Only to get cheered on by the Chicago audience with the Balls Mahoney classic cheer of balls, 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 balls. Maybe that's what set the tone for the night. Maybe that's why everybody, people were watching. They wanted to see it. The cool thing about Retro, it seems like he takes on a lot of attributes from other really popular baby face wrestlers. I saw him using some moves from the Ultimate Warrior, from John Cena. There was quite a few times out there where it just seemed like he's the real deal retro face character, that retro baby face. But you know what it's time for? Colton, it's time for the KWE Tireless Championship match. We are about to see Roland facing off against one of the most intimidating men in KWE, the Tireless Champion himself, Emperor Nero.
Let's kick it down to our ring announcer. The following contest is scheduled for one fall, and it is for the KWE Tireless Championship. Drifting their way to the ring first, the challenger, weighing in at 240 pounds. This is Roland! And their opponent, from Chicago, Illinois, weighing in at 286 pounds. He is the current reigning and defending KWE Tireless Champion, Emperor Nero.
And you know that he is a hated man to be booed in his very own hometown of Chicago, but the audience just absolutely showing their disdain for the KWE tireless champion. Nero has been known to be a dominating force in KWE and has been a name that is known in the community for a long time. Ladies and gentlemen, here on this debut edition of KWE programming, we're already getting a huge title match as the referee is holding up the title belt. Oh, and Nero snatches the belt and strikes Roland while his back is turned, taking off his entrance attire, hitting him before the bell is rung. Nero just out of nowhere blasting him with the tireless title belt. What a heinous maneuver from the champion. But I guess that's any means necessary for the win tonight.
Yeah, that definitely is that type of attitude being displayed here now, isn't it? The referee checking on Roland as he slowly begins to get up to his feet, seeing if he can even compete here. Maybe trying to tell Roland that it'd be wise to just walk off, but Roland looks determined. He came here tonight for a fight, and he's not shying away. The ref signals for the bell, and immediately Nero starts hammering away on Roland in the corner with huge hammer shots as soon as the bell sounds.
Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ref pulling Nero off as he screams, "I've got till 5, ref." He asked for this fight, and now he's going to get one. Nero picks up Roland, sending him off the ropes. Big boot to the face. Nero goes off the ropes, and it's a huge leg drop. He's covering Roland.
1, 2, and a kick out.
Oh,
And Nero just memeing on Roland here with that
wow.
Hulkamania-like combo there. And now Nero sees blood in the water as Roland retreats to the corner, where Nero begins to rain stomps down into the heart of Roland's chest. 1, 2, 3, 4. The ref says, once again backing Nero off as Nero begins to step back into the adjacent corner. He looks ready to kill, charging into Roland, looking for a big boot in the corner, but Roland puts his feet up, kicking Nero straight into the jaw, stumbling him back. Nero, irate, charges in again, but this time a back elbow from Roland will cut Nero off. Now Roland, with Nero staggering, rolls forward into a jumping clothesline, hitting Nero down to the mat. Now he goes off of the ropes and hits a Roland Thunder, pun probably entirely intended. Roland proceeds to put Nero into an upward sitting position as he goes off the ropes again and drills Nero in the back of the head with an outlaw shoot.
1, 2. Nero able to get the shoulder up at 2, but right at the 2 count. And you know what those 2 counts are? 2. Sweet. Nero now stumbling after this crazy random barrage from Roland. As Roland now goes into the corner, he's tuning up for that 6-shooter super kick. But wait, he hesitates as Nero begins to get to his feet. Roland deciding to change course. Jumping up to the second rope, leaping off for a crossbody, looking for a big flying maneuver, trying to get that extra damage into Nero, but Nero catches him midair with the falling cutter in 1, 2.
Oh no, Roland able to get the shoulder up at 2 and 2.5. And again, an irate Nero begins stomping the hell out of Roland. Just kick after kick after kick. At least they're not dick kicks. Jesus Christ. The referee once again having to back Nero off of his defenseless opponent. As Nero goes to grab Roland, Roland pushes Nero back in defiance, which only angered Nero further. The same instance happens again in which Nero pump kicks Roland straight into the jaw, picking him up again, throws him to the ropes, and drills him with a spine buster. Nero picks Roland back up and immediately takes him down with the burn it down vertebreaker. Nero goes for the cover with a deep hook to the leg. 1, 2, 3. Calls for the bell.
Wow.
To the announcer who says, the winner of this match, and still KWE Tireless Champion,
Jesus.
Emperor Nero.
What a display of dominance from Nero. Of course, put an asterisk on this victory. Thanks to that underhanded tactic at the beginning, rocking Roland's clock with that belt shot, just not letting up till victory was achieved. That was an amazing match.
Roland's all right, man.
I don't know how you could be after that. See, me personally, I'm a smart man. If you hit me in the head with a title and I'm already rocking, I'm going to say, hey, let's reschedule this. Let me go get some lunch. Let me take a shit. Let me go watch some reruns of Perfect Strangers. Let me go down to the block and cash my check. Let me go check out what's on Etsy, see if I can get some new designer jewelry. Let me go ahead and see if there's any toys from 1992 on eBay. Let me head to the gas station, see if I can get a $5 footlong from Subway. You know, let me do all that, and then maybe we come back and have this match next week.
I mean, that's easy for us to say as commentators not in the situation, but I think that's what separates us from the just hungry talent we have here tonight at KWE.
Well, that severe crippling depression and morbid obesity are what can completely separate me from the ring. That's basically what it is here.
That, and much like with Miro's victory tonight, when you eat, you leave no crumbs.
That is true, and it's a little tainted, like the one I got down here. Okay, but moving on to the main event. But before we do that, we have one final sponsor. Are you ready for this?
Should I check my DMs again?
I'm looking for our final sponsor. Here we go. This is one that
slap you after this.
This is one that was actually recommended for our roster after catering.
Right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, your main event tonight will be sponsored by Colon Blow for when you get backed up from catering and you need to let loose.
Hey man, sometimes you just gotta get that cheese out of your system some way, okay?
What kind of cheese? Cheese Whiz, American, blue, cream?
Depending on if you travel, could be Swiss. I like to make that cheddar, and I'm damn sure an American. But as we go into the main event, we're going to have KWE World Openweight Champion Hawk Henderson teaming up with KWE Penultimate Champion Dominic Harris, who's accompanied to the ring by Brett Starks, versus KWE's very own true tag team champions, the Backwater Butchers, Zach Daniels and Rusty Sawtooth, being accompanied by EBB and Grizzly, the team of Slaughterhouse.
Wow, the audience is still buzzing from the excitement of the last match as the lights dim and you hear, "Save your pity
for the week!"
Arena as Slaughterhouse come through the curtain onto the entranceway, led by Everett Bartholomew Beauregard and his gator, Cletus, held only by a chain and a leather strap, giggity, wrapped around Everett's hand. Following close behind Grizzly before the tag champions pop out from the back. Accompanied to the ring by Grizzly and EBB, representing Slaughterhouse at a combined weight of 495 pounds. They are the KWE True Tag Team Champions, Zach Daniels, Rusty Sawtooth, the Backwater Butcher!
Zach and Rusty pass their stablemates and continue down the ramp towards the ring at a fast clip, sliding under the rope, showing off their titles to the booing audience. Rusty running his tongue across his championship gold before spitting into the front row and calling out an audience member. Cletus the Gator baring his teeth as EBB and Grizz set up outside the ring.
And their opponents... The audience goes wild as soon as Dominic is emblazoned across the mega screen above the entranceway. First, accompanied to the ring by Brett Starks, is the KWE Penultimate Champion, Dominic Harris.
Upon his name being spoken,
Dominic pops out from behind the curtain with Brett Starks right behind him, holding Dominic's title over his shoulder. Dominic starts to feign throwing some punches, shadowboxing on the entryway, before slapping hands with the adoring fans along the ramp. As Dominic gets about halfway to the ring, you hear the sound of a bird screeching. And his tag team partner from Wichita, Kansas, is the KWE World Openweight Champion, Hawk Henderson.
Hawk runs out from behind the curtain, rushing the ring with his title belt still around his waist. Hawk runs straight past Brett and Dominic, sliding into the ring, facing down with a prepared Backwater Butcher team.
Hawk is ready to go. This man fears nothing.
I mean, obviously he's a KWE World Openweight Champion for a reason. He might not be the brightest to run straight at the True Tag Team Champions, but he's got some balls.
And we don't even get a chance for the ref to start the match before Hawk rushes the tag champion, swinging blindly. Hawk is looking for a fight and not wasting any time. Kind of reminds me of the early days of Butch as part of the Brawling Brutes.
See, this is why he's a moron. You're going to run face first solo into the most dominant tag team in KWE right now. I wonder, oh, Rusty with a massive clothesline. See, now he's going to wonder where it all went wrong.
Hey, I never said that Butch was the brightest member of the Brawling Brutes. Dominic on the apron now, already trying to gain some momentum for his fallen partner by getting the audience on their side, but I don't know if that's going to help, Hawk.
Rusty is just laying these boots into Henderson as he deserves after that entrance.
Yeah, definitely. Hawk manages to take his title belt off. He slides it out of the ring as he rolls out. The ref counts 1, 2.
Hawk trying to regain
his composure after his rough start, but he's smiling.
What kind of man rushes into the tag champs, gets knocked in the mouth, stopped a hole into, and then smiles?
The ref counts 3, 4. KWE World Openweight Champion Hawk seeks out these fights, whether it be a barroom or a brawl, a street fight, or a rushing headfirst into a 2-on-1. This man enjoys the fight.
Maybe he just likes to get beat up, and Daniels looks like he wants to do the beating. He tagged himself in. Maybe now Hawk will get back in the ring.
The ref counts 5. Hawk on the apron makes eye contact with Dominic, asking if he wants to tag. Hawk puts his hand in the air to get some attention from the crowd and reaches out for a tag from Dominic.
Oh, a chop block to the knee from Zach Daniels. See, that's what you get when you showboat and mess around. You get a taste of the tag champs. Daniels puts Henderson back towards the Butcher side of the ring and is continuing to attack that knee of Henderson. And boom, there goes a big elbow to the inside of the knee and a tag to Rusty.
Cool, you know what they say, if you want to mess around and mark out, you're going to fuck around and find out. This is where the duo is going to shine. All men in this match are champions, but the Butchers are tag team specialists, hence why they're the champs, and you can't count that out. Double suplex from the tag champions, picking Hawk up and throwing him off the ropes. A devastating double flapjack, leaving Hawk hurt on the map, on the mat there. The ref counts 1, 2.
This is just so smart by the Butchers. Take advantage of the stupidity of the champ and really give it to him.
Yeah, you definitely don't sound biased at all.
I mean, what's there to be biased about? You have a moron who can't think his actions out against one of the greatest tag teams in the entire existence of professional wrestling.
I mean, I don't know about the... Oh, Rusty sliding Hawk outside the ring under the ropes off to EVB Grizz and the Gator Cletus. That can't be legal to have that thing.
Just mad animals don't like you. Why you gotta be a Karen?
I'm not a Karen. I just don't think an 8-foot alligator should be at ringside. Is that Karen behavior?
Dominic is coming over now to ruin this. Get back in your corner. What are you worried about what's going on outside the ring?
He's trying to make sure his partner doesn't get eaten, probably.
There. Are you happy? Dominic got the ref to throw EBB and Grizz out.
Oh, looks like there's some commotion going on, however, as EVB is having some issues keeping a hold of Cletus. This is why it shouldn't be at ringside. Luckily, Brett has taken Hawk back to their side of the ring, but the referee really has lost control of this match.
Oh no, it looks like Cletus has gotten a hold of the bottom rope. He's really pulling on it.
Oh no, and here comes another problem. What the hell is DT doing out here?
Cletus is really clamped onto that rope. I've never seen anything like this. And what in the world? Cletus snapped the bottom rope!
Holy shit, DT circling Hawk outside the ring, eyeing him like Cletus would on his prey. What is going on? There's been so many interferences in this one match alone, you'd think Vince Russo was running the show.
The referee is trying to stop this dusty finish of a match, but why? It's just the bottom rope. You feel like going home early, ref? We all got a job to do, you lazy POS.
Brett is keeping DT at bay as Hawk Henderson is slowly getting to his feet. And what is going on? Vinny V just appeared out of nowhere and clipped Brett Starks. Vinny is absolutely devastating Brett with boots on the outside of the ring. What is happening? Is this even a match anymore?
It looks like EBB has finally gotten some grip on Cletus, and Slaughterhouse is on the move out of the arena.
Oh, Dominic, still with his eyes on Slaughterhouse, hasn't even noticed the absolutely savage beating Vinny is giving to Brett right now. Hawk realizing what's happening, now going to pull Vinny off him, and oh no, it's Draquan from the guardrail with a drop kick to Hawk. What I said, oh my god, I don't remember saying I wanted more interferences, but if I did, I was fucking kidding.
We saw Draquan earlier in the night turning his back on Corey for Vinny, so this isn't a shock and honestly a smart move to back the best. Vinny just absolutely mauling Brett.
ET just walking away from the chaos, and Vinny and Dre lay hands and boots into Hawk and Brett. Dominic, do something!
Oh, and there he goes. You just had to ruin it. Dominic rushing over to attempt to save his friend Brett and his tag partner, but you know what? It's too late. The damage is done, and off go Vinny and Dre back into the crowd.
Go to the ring announcer. Ladies and gentlemen, the referee has officially ruled this match a no contest. I mean, that's a totally unexpected turn of events. I'm surprised Lemony Snicket wasn't involved to cap off this insane inaugural episode of KWE Kickstart. I don't even know where we go from here, Hugs, but this truly did kickstart KWE into the world of professional wrestling.
No show is going to have what we just saw.
Definitely not. I don't even know how to sign off after this, but for myself and my broadcast partner and the KWE staff, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next week, KWE Fiends.
Good show. Good time.